Hi, this is Arno from PowerSoft System. You can visit us at powersoftsystem.com, and you can navigate through our various solutions from ERP, financial accounting software, HR, payroll, etc. You can just get our contact from the contact us page. So today we're going to look at the appraisal model for our ERPNext application. Okay, so the main thing that we will be doing basically is that we're going to look at how basically it works with few report, and we will try to look at a small aspect of it called job progression, how you can manage that. So let me log into system. So here is this application. uh, I've just logged in. You can see AA over here. So what I'm going to do is that first of all, I will just explain from here. It's a ERP system. I'm only showing the HR aspect, from here. So once we click on this drop down, you will find the things related to appraisal from here. Okay, all the things that needs to be covered from here. So what I'm going to do is basically to explain you the appraisal cycle first. So first of all, we define all the various appraisals like first quarter, second quarter, etc. You can define them. You can even define the cycle for some specific branch and department or designation if you want. So here we can set the KRA evaluation method like automated based on the goal progress. That's what I'm using instead of manual rating. Okay, then from here we can also set like filters like this cycle should apply to some designation, and we can create a KRA for all the employees in that particular designation. This way, all employees are supposed to do is to assign their goals. So what I'm going to do is that I'm not going to create for all employees. I will show what we call appraisal template. So I will explain this to you. For example, if we take this procurement over here, what we have done or the setup basically is like various KRA areas with their weighted weight up to 100, and then these are competence items, okay, like general behavior assessment. Now I also have something like so basically you can define template for various job or designations, or you can do it department wise, or however you want to do is possible, okay, whether employee wise or designation wise. Here I'm going by designation. So if I open even the human resource, you can see the KRA defined, and I'll open this roadmap. Basically, this is also a kind of KRA I've defined like with some key areas for which with some results. So we can do this without necessarily any, behavioral assessment as far as that is concerned. Okay, and when you do even this setup, you can easily even take a print out and take a look at the format that you have here. So this will become, let's say, your appraisal template for a particular designation if you want. Okay, now what is the next thing? The next thing ideally is to define the appraisal for an employee. So employee can do set up that, but ideally the HR will define for all the employees in the designation. Here I'm just going to do for one person, so they can just create what we call appraisal list like this. So you can see there is some appraisal record over here. You can see. So I will just show some few things, and then I will show some report, and we are good to go. So I'm going to create one, for example. So I can click on add appraisal, for example, and select the employee in question as, let's say, this employee. So this is like a back office user, but as I said, from the appraisal cycle, you can say you want to create appraisal for first quarter for people who are in procurement or entry level, and then you will do that. Okay, now from here, what am I going to do? Once I select this, I can manually associate a template, like, so in this case I'm just going by roadmap intern to junior, okay, like this. So from here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, so this template also have the behavioral assessment over here. So I'm just going to save this one like this. So the moment I save, so this would have been covered provided like we would have created appraisal for all the people in, let's say, entry level. So now this is my browser, let's say as a manager or HR or line manager. Now I want employee to update their goals accomplishment. Okay. Now, so let's say I have, you can see another user here, AK, you can see, and then another user here. This is a different user. So this is employee self-service, okay? They will not have access, they can be restricted to the things you want, you only want them to see. For example, if I go to, let's say, I click a button and I go to goals, for example, you can see here, this is an employee, so they are restricted. They can only see, they are restricted by their code only. But if I go to this from another browser, I go to goal, you can see other employees goals like this. So what will happen is that this employee want to set up their goals and assign. So what I want to do is that, assuming these are their goals, I have listed something here. This one is a kind of job progression. So the employee is on entry level. We want to do a setup whereby he will progress from once they meet this criteria, the system will automatically move them to a different designation. Okay, this means the system, we can build a workflow. So for example, the logic here I'm using is that, for example, I'll take my time to show you. I have a workflow here that, if you look at this workflow, appraisal workflow finance, you can see this workflow is active, and we have it like, once employee in terms of approval, once the final appraisal has been approved, their designation should move from, for example, entry level to junior account officer. So this is a workflow, and it goes through some transition rules. You can see we can set who to approve and not to approve. Here, because it's a demo, I'm allowing everybody to, let's say, you can say who to approve and not to approve. So this is a workflow state. So in this demo, I'm just covering, I'm just showing, how do we call it, the appraisal process, all right, but I will place one emphasis, like we have the functionality to say, let's say if somebody appraisal met some criteria, maybe the salary should increase automatically, maybe the job position should get promotion. So this one is doing it for an employee that met a certain criteria, and then the designation will automatically change from, let's say at the moment this employee is, if you look at it, this employee's designation is entry level, but once he fulfills the requirement, it should automatically move to that. So here I will link this to, this is the goal this employee is creating, the first goal. So for example, if you check over here, these are the various KRAs. So the first one, the first goal is successfully passed minimum 8 years. So they can come here, and this will be the process. Like they can do it like this. They can just click here like this and assign this to this related to ICANN, for example, like this ICANN qualification, for example. They don't have read or write permission for this. I will set it up quickly. Okay, here we go. So I just only need to click on this save button as an employee, and the next thing basically is that they can just keep adding their various goals. For example, so here I have the Word document. So whatever has been discussed between an HR or line manager can be updated by the employees here, for example, and this is related to a KRA like accounting and finance, like this. So they can just again click on this save button and then keep on posting this. So they just even need to just click on duplicate this, okay, and then just click on this, and then over here they just need to this is related to accounting ERP. So your KRAs all depends on how you want to classify your things, right? So this is how I classify these over here. So I can duplicate this one again, and I'm good in terms of something techniques. Um, I think this is related to petty cash. Okay, so I'll just select petty cash, and then here we go with the last one. I think the last two, this and that. So I will just again duplicate this, and then I'm good to go. Okay, so this is just financial analysis and principles. Then again, I'll click on save, and then I can go for the last one. It's more or less like bank reconciliation. So bank recon. Oh, I do not have probably this accounting principles and bank reconciliation. Okay, fine. So that should be it. I am done. So what happens is that this employee will then see all his goals like this, his goals accomplishment. So in the course of the how do you call it, the appraisal period, which is within the first quarter, they can come and say, today I have achieved 20%. They can even add a comment here if they want. Okay, they can add a comment here and just do at, for example, to their manager if they want, and say, check my new progress. I achieved the reconciliation last week objective. Okay, for example, and if they should do this, an email will be sent and a timeline will be maintained over here. You can see an email will be sent to the how do you call it, line manager. They can basically comment and tag anybody that they want, right? So this is it. You can see the goal progress here. So I'll just do 80% for this, and that is it. It just seamlessly, they can just update anytime. 100, and you can set even this to go through approval process also, if you want. Okay, so let's say this is just 10% done, and then let's say again, this is 100% achieved, so it's all completed automatically and set a status. And again, let's assume this is also 100% done. Okay, once they are good, like I said, so here they are able to view this one. Okay, like they can view it like a tree if they want like this, and then they can easily see the go progress as far as they are concerned. Okay, and then they can also see it like this. It depends on how you want to view. Okay, so let's say they are good at this point, right? I'll quickly switch to my email for you to check. You can see from here, this person made a comment to his manager related to this, and his manager can easily just see that this person mentioned a comment related to this, and then he has tagged him and said, check my goals related to this. So they just need to click on this if they want to view it even directly like this, and they will be logged into the system. So this is like a manager logging in, and they can view whatever that they said. And if they want to, this is where I meant by, if they want to approve this, we can set an approval flow for it. So let's assume that the entire um, goal update is done, right? If it is done, what happens? What happens is that if you want employee to view the total weight, it's possible. A manager can. So I will just check it over here from the here. It's also possible from here as well. So we can go to appraisal list from here based on the goal accomplishment. You can see this is in draft, for example. This employee's own is in draft. You can even see the goal score, etc. So here, what happens is I'll switch back to the employee stage. The employee also can view also from the appraisal list. They will only see themselves, whereas a manager only see all the three employees. So employee can click here and they can see basically what will they see. They will see something like final score, but the details are here. This is the KRA. So based on the goal accomplishment, you can see they will be able to see, okay, out of 100, I have had a score of 20%, and two of that, and that, and that, and that, which is giving them a goal score of 72. And this is the total goal score. Now, if they want to update their own competences like self-appraisal, they can just again do a rating from here, like this, like that, okay, like that. So actually these are marks, right? These are whatever, even I'm doing a star rating, right? But these are marks, right? So they can leave a reflection of themselves, like for example, a comment by themselves, like example, they are uh, uh, this was my best quarter, as uh, maybe Q1 2024 was my best performance, uh, as I manage to review or to reconcile all creditors. For example, this is just an example. Huh? So they click on save like this, and you find that they have a self score as far as their competences set up. Based on this, they are getting the score, and then this feedback here basically means their HR or line managers or their departmental heads, how they also score them. So this is the KR. So basically, from here, let's say employee is done, all emails can be triggered. So you can see, even I have switched back to the manager. The manager or departmental head can view employee, how they appraise themselves, and whatever they think about themselves. Now, let's assume uh, let's assume a certain manager want to give this employee feedback, right? What would they do? So I will just log in. Let's say their head of department or line manager want to give a performance feedback. So they can click on employee performance feedback like this. Maybe they have access to all. So here I have access to all employees, like a line manager or HOD, depends. Basically, it's the second line in terms of the appraiser. You can have a reviewer, okay. Sorry, I mean the assessor. Okay, so assessor can click on add employee, so he can choose for which employee. So here we will go for let's say this employee in question, like this. And then the reviewer, in this case, I will go for, let's say this is the reviewer, this is the person to review. Let's say this is an entry level employee, but the business development manager needs to review him, and he's adding this comment on this date. And then the appraisal in question is related to this employee, as we have mentioned. So everything will be here. So here they are giving basically feedback as far as their employee competences are concerned. So if they decide to score them, for example, 5, 5, and 4, and then go here for 3 and go here like this, or let's say this, they can leave a final feedback. For example, maybe your last let's say presentation to the bank could have been better, for example. uh, let's say this, whatever that they want to leave as feedback, they can leave this as feedback, and this is highly customizable. Okay, so you can see, if I click on this print format, you can see this is employee performance feedback by their reviewer, and then this is how much rating they have given, etc. Here we will go through some reports soon. I'll click on submit. I'll choose yes. So if I go back to the appraisal list again and I open this one, you'll find the feedback just came. You can see it just came from this. Let's say this is the line manager, or this is the departmental head for business development. Then you can see the rating they are giving 3.5. If you click on this link, it will take you to open the feedback, and the star rating is also here. The employee rating is also here, and these are the KRs. This is automated. This is automated. So based on the goal accomplishment that the line manager or supervisor have approved, it comes here to compute automatically. So no need to disturb this one and give the ratings done. Here, basically, we can rename this tab or change the caption if you want to assessor, how do you call it, competence feed, assessor competences, and then or feedback, and then this is the self, that self in this case means employee. Okay, so once they are done, I want you to pay attention over here. Based on, we can open another tab over here just to explain you, like, we are done with this, but I want to also explain that based on the workflow, if we have a requirement like, on approving and the employee meet the criteria and has gone through all these transition rules as far as a workflow is concerned, there maybe if he met all the conditions, and as part of the appraisal and the scores that came out, for example, he's supposed to be an excellent performer, or he's supposed to score 3, or he's supposed to score 2. Remember, what is the final score here? Sorry, overview. What is the final score? Maybe 3. Maybe somebody on a scale of out of 5, somebody who have 3 is supposed to be promoted to, let's say, from entry level, for example. He has done, for example, here is a case like somebody have done all this, have been able to fulfill all these key result areas. It's an assumption because the goal completion rate is 100, 100, 100, 80, 20, and 10. Maybe it's 72. Overall, it's not bad, and we want to promote this person. What do we do? Because we can do it manually, or we can set a workflow. The same applies to salary increment and all of that, and anything in between that you may want to do. System is very flexible as far as you want to fulfill some criteria. So in this workflow, I want you to pay attention that once the final person, first of all, once I forgot to mention this, first of all, once employee is done, he will submit this for approval. So I've switched to the employee view like this, right? So when it's switched to that, now the buttons will change to approve or reject. Okay, so basically what will happen is that they have submitted this for approval, is pending the HR manager or whoever that we build a workflow for to approve. Now you will find that the designation of this guy is entry level in 10. Should I approve this? If it didn't, if even if he didn't meet the criteria and I approve, the designation will not change. But once he meets the how do you call it, appraisal, assessment scores or ratings required, okay, because this is basically like a criteria. Once you meet the appraisal criteria to allow you to move to the next designation or your salary to be changed, the necessary field you need to change in as far as the employee master data is concerned will change. So here I'm going to just click on this approve button, and within a second it should change because it will go through a workflow. So if you take a look at this, you will find that after approval, this has changed successfully to what? Junior account officer, if you can take a look at it. And then also you will find that here there is a timeline where I have approved this, and then so you can see because of the approval, it also indicates over here that on this date and this time, the value, you know, the designation. So this is like basically a promotion because this employee have been able to fulfill the requirement required after the appraisal or performance assessment period where he met all the necessary criteria, and based on the workflow, they have moved from here. And you can see that here, can you see? I'm practically using almost my name, so but you can see two different names, Ano Amapole at the top and Ano Kabna over here. So if you check, you will find that this Ano Kabna submitted this and it was pending approval, right? You will find that this guy submitted, okay, and then this person came to kind of approve it. So these are two different personalities in the software. I believe we are clear, and this requirement is fulfilled. Now we will check few reports. So I'll go to report list, for example. Okay, let's take a look at KRA and Go progress report. What kind of data does this present? Okay, so once we click on show report, for example, like this. So on this report, you can see what are we showing? We are showing the basically the appraisal cycle, employee name, the KRA, the goal, and completed. So and then you can configure the chart as per how you want it. You can go for a bar, line chart, etc. Okay, and you can configure it yourself. Now you can as well decide to remove or add columns if you want. So for example, this data you can also decide to export to, for example, Excel, and you have some filters here, You can do like a filter based on employee, etc., and check. So for example, I can say this employee I just did, I can just filter this employee, and here we go. You can see only this employee. For all, basically here is just a line graph for employee versus the goals. Okay, so I can open this Excel report also as well, and you can see in terms of analysis, you find this employee over here. You can find the data like this. Okay, the completion rate and then the progress for each. So you can filter for one employee or two, however that you want. Every data is here. Okay, KRA goal, and then this is fine. So now I'll proceed and we check another report. Let's say appraisal scores. What does appraisal score shows? Basically, as the name suggests, it's just showing scores, right? So if you take this employee I just did, it's trying to say this was the goal score. Basically, the goal score relate to your KRA only, and then because it's linked to the KRA, self score is basically the employee rating of themselves as far as the competencies are concerned, and then the feedback score is basically the reviewers. Okay, and then the final score, of course, take into consideration all the component and the average of it. Okay, and that should be it for this report. And this report also, you can see the data, employee name, branch. You can add more column designation, the appraisal, the feedback count, the average score, goal score, etc. You can analyze this departmental wise, designation wise. So for example, if I say I want this for, let's say, people in procurement, and only one person is there, I guess then only one data is coming. You can see. So you can perform this kind of analysis at a go. And you can set up your own chart if you want. And this also report, you can say print. You can say you want to take a PDF if you want, even with letterhead. You can do that if you want to do that. As well. So it's all like it's all up to you, whatever that you want to you want to do, right? So just a moment, I think I have one option here to do like this one and say yeah. So you can see here we are showing employee name, this, that. You can see all the details are here. Okay, so imagine you want this data for all employees, then you can get for all employees, because here I am basically only showing for one person, but we could have generated this report and say, for example, print with letterhead, and we are good to go. So these are all the employees. This is this department, this is this branch. So we can manage everything. And we didn't even like a PDF, you can click on this link if you want to directly go to the appraisal record, and it will open the appraisal record seamlessly for you without any hassles. Okay, so that is it. I believe this is useful. There is one more report we can take a look. This is like the feedback other people have given on employees, right? So like for example, this is also trying to show for example, the ID, the status, and then the employee in question, the appraisal cycle. So you can see this same employee coming twice, maybe you received two feedbacks from two different reviewers. So if you look at this one, this is the reviewer, this is the reviewer, this is the reviewer, but this employee got two feedbacks from this guy and this guy. And one of them said that your ability to adapt to this was okay. The presentation to the board could have been better, your last. So that is it. And this also again can go for you can generate on Excel. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching our video. You can always visit us at powersoft.system.com. Okay, and then you can reach us through email on sales@powersoft.system.com or support@powersoft.system.com. Can drop us a chat where we are unavailable. You can feel free to use the contact us page to just leave us a message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much.